everyone! Welcome to Souped-Up Recipes. Today we are making 四药王炒面. Chao is stir fry, Min is noodle. 四药王 means the king of soy sauce. I know it sounds weird, but it is trying to describe that if you cook this right, you can maximize the flavor of the soy sauce and bring this dish to the king level. So, 四药王炒面 is basically just vegetable stir-fry noodles that is seasoned with soy sauce. This is a classic Dai Pai Dong recipe. For those of you who don't know about it, Dai Pai Dong is a type of open-air food store in Hong Kong, which plays an important role in the local catering culture. It is known for offering affordable but authentic and delicious street food. However, it is declining due to the economic development. If you're interested, just Google it. You will find lots of information about it. The recipe is super easy, but there are lots of little details that you have to pay attention to in order to recreate that authentic street food version. First, let's talk about the noodles. I got here some fresh egg noodles and some dry forms. You can use either of them, but the fresh egg noodles take less time to cook, about 2 to 3 minutes, and the dry ones would take about 3 to 5 minutes, depending on the thickness. You can buy these fresh egg noodles in the fridge or frozen section at your local Asian grocery stores. They're usually labeled as wonton noodles. You can also make them at home, which I do have a demo video for that. I'll link the recipe in the description. For the dry egg noodles, they're much easier to get. I have seen them in the regular non-Asian supermarkets. Just pay attention in the noodle aisle, you'll find them. I'll be using these dried noodles for today's video. 300 grams is about 3 servings. If you are using fresh egg noodles, you probably will need about 450 grams as they have different water ratios. Bring 3 liters of water to a boil. Add a drizzle of olive oil, then toss in the dried egg noodles. The olive oil is going to coat the noodles lightly so they don't stick together. Turn off the heat immediately, and we will let the noodles soak in this hot water for 3 to 5 minutes, depending on the thickness of your noodles. Stir with a pair of chopsticks and gently loosen up all the noodles. We are soaking them because we don't want to cook them all the way through, otherwise they will turn mushy and stick to the wok badly. Take them out and spread them on a rack for at least 10 minutes. The rest of the heat will help to evaporate the excess moisture. Take a pair of scissors to cut the noodles into 6 inches long pieces. This way, they won't tangle with each other, and if they do, they will clump up into a chewy chunk. That is not what you want. You want to be able to toss your noodles freely in the wok, and they will come out nice and airy. If you feel that the noodles are sticky, you can always coat them with a little more oil. Mine was just fine though. I know a lot of recipes would tell you to rinse the noodles with cold water to stop the cooking process. I don't recommend that because it will bring in too much water. Moisture is the #1 enemy for chao mein. It makes the noodles stick to the wok badly. I'm going to divide the noodles into 3 servings, and I will cook them in 3 batches as well. This is super important. Let me explain why. It doesn't matter how big your cookware is, your home stove heat already decided that you can only cook 1 serving each time, unless you have a commercial stove. I mean, you could cook everything all at one time, but you will not get the wok hei effect. Wok hei is also known as the breath of the wok. It refers to a complex smoky aroma and taste that are created by properly cooking the food in a well-seasoned wok over extremely high heat. Without that, your stir-fry is not authentic. Each serving takes about 5 minutes to cook in the wok, so it's not like you're wasting a lot of time by cooking them individually. Okay, I think I have explained enough for the noodles. Next, we will prepare the vegetables. There is no restrictions. You can use whatever you want, such as cucumber, zucchini, cabbage, spinach, but I want to show you what Cantonese people will use. 40 grams of bean sprout. The roots are edible. You don't need to remove them. But I'm making a video, the thumbnail has to look good, so I removed the root because they are quite messy. 40 grams of carrot. Slice it into thin strips. 40 grams of garlic chives. This is called 韭菜. If you don't have it, the green onion will do just fine. Cut them into 2 inches long pieces. A quarter of an onion, slice it lengthwise into these thin strips. 1 clove of garlic, cut it into strips as well. You could mince it, but if everything else is in the strip shape, it makes sense to cut the garlic into strips, right? This is for 1 serving. If you are making 3, you have to triple it. Besides the vegetables, we also need to make the sauce ahead of the time because once the heat is on, everything cooks super fast. You don't have enough time to open all the bottles and measure out the seasonings. In a sauce bowl, add 1 tablespoon of soy sauce, 1 teaspoon of dark soy sauce, 1 teaspoon of oyster sauce, a quarter teaspoon of sugar. Stir to mix. This is also for 1 portion. I'm serving 3 people, so I made 3 batches. Okay, turn the heat to high. Heat your wok until smoking hot. Add 2 tablespoons of oil. Swirl the oil around to cover the bottom to create a non-stick layer. Adding the noodles. I have serious arthritis, so my wrist will not allow me to toss the wok. I just use 2 pairs of chopsticks to fluff the noodles constantly. Try not to use a turner or a spatula because they are not as flexible. They either cut off your noodles or compact your noodles. The heat should be on high the whole time. Not only it helps you to get the wok heat effect, but also it keeps your noodles from sticking to the wok. A lot of people don't know that, so their food always sticks to the wok. When that happens, people tend to add more oil to save the dish, but then your noodles will come out extra oily. Once you see your noodles are getting a little bit chart marks here and there, you can toss in the vegetables. Most home stoves are not as strong, and my portable one is even less, so I recommend adding the seasoning in batches. Mix it in, add a little bit more. If you pour in all the sauce, the liquid will drop down the wok's temperature instantly, which causes the noodles to stick to the bottom. Once all the sauce is mixed in, the vegetables should be soft. You can turn off the heat and serve the noodles on the plate. Look at that. Each strain of the noodles is perfectly loosened up. So fluffy and airy. Check the bottom of the plate. We don't see any oil drips. That is the standard for chow mein. Just 1 bite brings me back to my childhood. It's such an easy recipe, but the taste is incredible. The soy sauce is beautifully caramelized and developed depth of flavors. The noodles are toasty. The vegetables are fresh and crunchy. Everything balances so well together. This is the perfect chow mein that everyone should try at least once in their life. As always, don't forget to check the description where you can find all the links, including the printable recipe, the related videos, the purchase link for special ingredients if you don't know where to buy them, or the tools that I have used in this video. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!